What's up, traders? My name is Vincent Mokotedi, the founder of Vinboss Signal Factory with over 7 years of proven trading results. I am the only trader who trades publicly with my community. Every single trade, wins and losses included. No hiding, no manipulation, just transparency and real trading results. Furthermore, I would like to tell you that I've already built a Telegram and a WhatsApp community filled with serious traders only. The best part is it's free to join. All you need to do is number 1, register with XNS under our exclusive link. Number 2, verify your trading account. Number 3, fund at least $100. Some traders are funding $1,000 to enjoy higher profits. When you fund, you will get to receive the following that I will mention. Firstly, it will be the weekly Forex forecast of all the major pairs, gold and silver included, daily signals and analysis for London and New York sessions, fundamental news breakdown on major economic events. You will get again a course called Beginner to Pro Ultimate Course for both beginners and struggling traders seeking consistency. Proven strategies tested and verified by myself and other professional traders. One-on-one mentorship where you can request personal attention to deepen your price action and signal understanding. But that's not all. If you are not registered with us or you're not ready to switch over to XNS as of yet, you would still receive daily analysis of 6 pairs only, which includes the euro dollar, the pound and the dollar, the euro Canadian dollar, the pound Canadian dollar, the euro and the pound, and last but not least, the US dollar and the Canadian dollar. You will only receive the London session analysis only. That is a limited access that we give to those who are not with us. So don't miss out on all the full access to premium trading education, signals, and membership. After funding, send proof of registration to WhatsApp 068 060 5332 for instant access to everything. And traders, this has been sort of like a pattern for wins week in and week out. Come on, traders. You have to believe that this system is working. I mean, yesterday after I gave the signal, of course, expecting this to go up, we did get bearish patterns right here. And then a continuation to the downside, nearly took profit, come down to retest. I think if we were to come and retest this would be a great place again to continue the downside and take out profit at 1.1716. Now this is a fantastic setup, of course, and we are still in it to go to the downside. This is the euro and the dollar, and with the euro and the dollar traders, we have already breaking even on this, and if we do make a new low here, we will put stop loss above here, just so that the free account traders or people who are still using their brokers who are watching my videos on YouTube, you can get some kind of mentoring when I'm not around. So you wait for this low. After the market price give you this low, you put stop loss above here and expect to take profit or a little bit of a pullback before continuation to the downside. Now this is a fantastic setup, of course, and with it being the fantastic setup, I would like for you traders to say, you know what, Vinboss, you do this. So without wasting much time, traders, thank you for watching this video. Of course, make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit the notification bell so that when every single video drops, you do not miss the video. So without wasting much time, let's go straight to the pound and the dollar. And with the pound and the dollar, similar thing happened. We did enter here with bearish patterns. Remember yesterday we did expect this to come and retest for the last time up here, and then a continuation to the downside, but instead the market did not, and based on correlation signals, this allowed us to go deeper. So let's zoom in. Of course, this is where the signal was, and this is where the stop loss was, because this candle was strong both on the euro dollar and on the pound dollar. So with that being said, this market came straight down and took our profit the same day, and we are done for the week on the same day. Can you believe that? This is what it's like trading with Binboss Signal Factory, guys. This is the fantastic setups. Of course, the market went exactly as we planned. We wanted to see test the supply zone, tested with once, of course, and after testing once, continuation to the downside did happen, and we did take profit. Now, both the euro, the pound, the euro and the dollar, the pound and the dollar, and the euro and the pound, we are not trading them this week, as we have already taken profit on those three currency pairs. Now we are only left with three currency pairs left, which is the pound and the CAD, the euro and the CAD, and the US dollar and the CAD. So without wasting further time, let's go straight to the euro and the Canadian dollar. And traders, with the euro and the pound, nothing has really changed. Of course, we did have this bounce from here, and I did put or mention the fact that 1.6300 would be a great place to look for buying opportunities, of course. But we did not buy this. We did not buy this because why? Because the overall movement was on the euro and the dollar and the pound and the dollar. So with that being said, those two pairs showed us a fundamental drop in both the euro and the pound against the dollar. But in here, we did not have that much of a movement, as the pound, the Canadian dollar itself is already weak. And with that being said, there was no significant drop from yesterday. Even this bounce was strong. So what do I expect from today? Listen, the euro, dollar, and the pound and the dollar dropped significantly yesterday. But from my side, I do not see this. That's why I told you I treat these pairs or these currency pairs this week on their individual merits. So with that being said, this still for me signaled a potential of bias to the upside. Bulls are now in control of this market. That's why we see bears struggling in this currency pair, which is the euro and the Canadian dollar, as opposed to the euro and the US dollar. So with that being said, now I expect to see pullback to retest 1.6300 again and look for buying opportunities, of course, to the upside to make that 1:3 risk to reward ratio. Or if the euro and the dollar do extend its losses, of course, again, and then the euro loses more of its buying pressure, then we will see this continuation go to this second supply zone, which was supposed to be the supply zone, but at this point it will act as the demand zone. This will also be a great place to look for buying opportunities, of course. So do you guys see how correlation works? I just hope you guys are paying close attention to correlation. So these are the two options. I'm buying the euro against the Canadian dollar, but I'm selling the euro against the dollar because the dollar is stronger than both the euro and the Canadian dollar. So without wasting further time, traders, this is the best signal setup ever, and this is the best signal service ever. It's easy to join. Remember, all you have to do to join is fund the minimum of $100 under our exclusive XNS link, and fund $100, verify your account, send proof of admin to me. The WhatsApp numbers is 0680605332. I repeat, 0680605332, and that number will be left under the video description, of course, on this week. So with that being said, traders, this is by far one of the best signal services ever. So this is still option one, and we do have option two, which is to come down and retest the previous supply zone, which will act as the demand now in this currency pair. But for me, I don't think the Canadian dollar has what it takes to take it to the first supply, to the second supply zone, which now tends to the demand, of course. But what I do want to see is retesting 1.6300 again, and then looking for buying opportunities to make that 1:3 risk to reward ratio. So traders, with that being said, let's go straight over to the pound and the Canadian dollar. So traders, with the pound and the Canadian dollar, yesterday after the entry, of course, I do remember some people were rooting for the buys because of the weakness in the Canadian dollar. So what we did is, I do follow my strategy to the pip, so I cannot expect anybody to follow my strategy to the pip if I do not personally follow my strategy to the pip. So with that being said, the market came down. After coming down, we did break even, of course, because this was already in a good momentum, and then all of a sudden we got break even, and then after break even, nothing has happened. What do I expect now? This, according to my strategy, this is not here yet. This is not here yet. So this still has a great chance of continuing to the downside. I'd still be looking for bearish patterns and formations to go to the downside, of course, and take out profit at 1.8546. This is where I will be taking my target profit at. So without wasting much of our time, traders, this is what I do expect going into the ends of this week. But if we do come and retest the second supply zone, this is still the great place to look for shorts to go down and take structure at 1.8546 on the pound and the Canadian dollar. As you can see, there's a similar pattern on the euro Canadian dollar and the pound and the Canadian dollar. We lacked momentum yesterday on both currency pairs of the Canadian dollar. Why did we lack momentum? Because both the euro and the pound were weak, and the Canadian dollar itself is weak. So that, what does that mean? This is the euro, this is the pound, and this is the Canadian dollar. All the currency pairs that we are talking about are weak. So there was less momentum on them as opposed to what the euro and the dollar did, or the pound and the dollar did, because on the pound and the dollar, euro and the dollar, we did get strong momentum to the downside, both on both currency pairs. But on the euro Canadian dollar, the pound and the Canadian dollar, nothing truly happened, because both are facing difficulties of gaining strength. So with that being said, that simply means technically these two pairs were not good to trade yesterday. We can see this by break even, of course, and this happened not only on the euro and the Canadian dollar, but also in the pound and the Canadian dollar. So with that being said, what do I expect from today? I expect to see bearish patterns and formations to continue to the downside because of my strategy, not because I want to or because it feels right to do that, but because I follow the strategy to the peep. So without wasting further time, traders, let's go to the last but not least, US dollar, Canadian dollar. And remember that we are not going to discuss the euro and the pound this week, as we have already taken profit on Monday, of course. And thank you guys for watching the video. Let's go straight to the euro, to the US dollar and the Canadian dollar. Maybe there you can see the strength of the dollar as opposed to a weaker Canadian dollar. And traders, with the US dollar and the Canadian dollar, yesterday I was expecting to see momentum come to retest the weekly break of structure, of course, and a continuation to the upside. Rather, we did not get such pullbacks. The market just shot straight up, and honestly, we missed this signal some people. I remember, because in the real account traders community, it's not only new traders. There are some people who are well experienced, and those people who are well experienced, they did ask me about buying this from here to continue the upside. But according to my strategy, I was only looking for selling opportunities down to this uh, down to this weekly break of structure at 1.3844, then buying this to the upside. Now, I did miss this, but let me remind you one thing again. Missing a trading opportunity is like waiting at a train station. Another one is always coming, no matter what. Another train is coming, another train of opportunity is coming. So what do I think, or what do I look for right now? Do I go in, continue with this? No, I still follow my strategy even today. So what do I expect? I expect a pullback. After this pullback right here at 1.3844, this is when I'll be looking for buying opportunities to continue the upside and make that 1:3. So if the market continues up, I will not buy it. I will not be interested in any of the market movement that continues with the bullish momentum, even though the Canadian dollar is weak. I'm not interested into any selling opportunities. So traders, with that being said, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, you subscribe, and you comment down on this video to join the real account traders community. So with that being said, traders, thank you and happy trading.